Hello, beautiful homemakers. We are bombarded with perfect body images, and we often watch women on YouTube that are model gorgeous. In fact, just last week, I recommended a video for you by Alexandra on the art of color. Now, I hadn't watched that video in like 2 years, and I just re-watched it. She's young and she's gorgeous and she is in perfect shape. But dears, you don't have to be in perfect shape or be model gorgeous for a man to love you. So many beautiful women do not have husbands or children for a wide variety of reasons. Some women don't have children because then they wouldn't have that perfect body anymore, and they are going to lose out in the long run. Keeping your perfect body is not a reason to not have children. But many beautiful women do not ever end up getting married because they're too high maintenance. They simply place too much emphasis on their looks and on their body. And men say, no, thank you, for marriage. A lot of these women will give themselves freely to men without marriage. And so when a man is ready to get married, he's not going to look at one of these beautiful women and say, oh, I want to marry her. No, he's going to go on to a woman with a worthy character more than model gorgeous, perfect figure. I've seen it happen time and time again. In fact, I know of women who were so beautiful in their 20s and 30s. Now they're in their 50s, never married. And when I have talked to men about them, why didn't you go out with her? I know you found her pretty. And they say, too high maintenance, too full of herself, too controlling. Remember that getting into a smaller size will not make your life perfect. You will not find the perfect man, and life will not fall into place if you just dye your hair blonde or grow an inch or dress correctly or have a flat tummy or bigger or smaller body parts. It won't matter if you're thinner or have long hair, because the vast majority of men, they're not looking for Little Miss Perfect. And as we've talked about before, yes, looks attract, but men instinctively know that not only are the extremely model gorgeous, beautiful women high maintenance, but they know that they'll always have to give in to her whims. And later, they'll have a little narcissist on their hands. And then her beauty is going to fade. And what will she have to offer? The problem with really gorgeous women is that they rely on their looks to get them by. And a marriage simply isn't successful based on looks. But you know what will help you have a wonderful life and attract the man that is perfect for you? Loving the body you have right now, and living the life you have right now, and caring for the home you have right now, and loving all the people in your life that are with you right now. And of course, there is only one thing that will bring a deep down peace. Way back in the 1600s, Blaise Pascal said it best. There is a God-shaped vacuum in the heart of each man, which cannot be satisfied by any created thing, but only by God the Creator, made known through Jesus Christ. Only the Holy Spirit can give you that peace. So call on Jesus and ask Him to save you and give you that peace. Then accept your life as it is now. Be amazed at and love your body as it is right now. And dress yourself well. Color boosts your mood. And when you catch sight of yourself wearing colors that look best on you and clothes that fit your body as it is right now, you will feel better about so many other things in your life. Good haircuts and good hair days and makeup and nice clothes, they really are important. Get rid of your frumpy clothes. Get rid of clothes that are too masculine and that aren't your color. In your own house, practice dressing really feminine, like I did with my pink dress 20 years ago, and like I do today with my pink frilly socks. Make your bed wearing high heels. Clean your kitchen wearing a really frilly apron. And by dressing yourself well, I don't mean to dress yourself expensively with designer labels. It means clothes that fit your body right now. And if you do have a few gorgeous pieces that look wonderful on you, get them tailored to fit your body right now. A lot of dry cleaners have tailors at very low prices. Just ask around. Focus on losing weight only for your health, not your appearance. That's just a side benefit. Remember that men say they want to be able to grab a handful. Believe them, too thin is really out. Now, last July, I began intermittent fasting using the book Fast, Feast, Repeat. I eat what I want, but I try to eat with only an 8-hour window. And sometimes I fail. But overall, in the past 6 months, I lost 2 pounds a month and an inch overall. Then, yesterday, I stepped on that scale and I was up 5 pounds. What? I have been eating out way too much, and I have not been moving my body enough. Sometimes sitting on that couch homeschooling does not give me enough calories burnt during the day, so I have to get up and move. I said, I'm going to refocus today, and I am. Instead of my normal whole wheat bread, I'm having Ezekiel bread. It's not as yummy, but it's better for me. Instead of the peanut butter I usually slather on it, I put cream cheese on instead. It's surprising how just that one little tweak of that bread and using cream cheese can really help. Drinking dandelion tea, ignoring the sodas, making sure I'm only eating in a 6 or 8 hour window. Little tweaks to help get me back on track. It's progress, not perfection, as Fly Lady always used to say. But I don't beat myself up about it. I just ask Jesus to help me. And I'm doing more stealth exercises, such as my friend Lydia recommends. I do push-ups against my kitchen counter. I do leg lifts when I'm putting away my dishes. I do calf exercises when I'm cooking. I have a chin-up bar. I don't do chin-ups on it. I just stretch my body on it. When we go walking, we go to the park, and I stretch my legs on a bench. And sometimes I get carried away eating chocolate ice cream and cake. And if I feel a blemish coming on, before bed I put on a mighty patch. Those work 90% of the time. Sometimes it'll even cause the blemish to just disappear overnight. Or if you use a black soap just where your blemish is, that can help bring it to a head overnight, and the mighty patch will just whisk it away. How I wish I had these when I was a teen. But dears, there is way too much emphasis on looking perfect today. And I'm here to tell you that it is not as important as you may think. Looking your best and being perfect or model gorgeous are two very different beasts. One is good for you, looking your best. The other can destroy you. Trying to look perfect doesn't work. Just look at all the tabloids. All those gorgeous women who we think are perfection, who get cheated on by Mr. Wonderful. Having a perfect body does not matter. Men don't want waifs. Real life men just want real life women who are kind, who are joyful, who admire them, who respect them, and they will shower you with love and adoration. We need to watch what we say much more than watch what we eat or wear. It's our words that help make us beautiful. In fact, 1 Peter 3 said, "Don't be concerned about the outward beauty of fancy hairstyles, expensive jewelry, or beautiful clothes. You should clothe yourselves instead with the beauty that comes from within, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is so precious to God." Let's continue reading the original 1922 Fascinating Womanhood pamphlet, Part 5. This section is called Putting Dainty Girlishness into Apparel. In later versions, it's called How to Select Your Clothes. What you want to select then is clothing as much as possible unlike the clothing of the men themselves. Men usually wear dark blue, black, gray, and brown. In the main, therefore, you want to avoid these colors. Men never wear pink, lavender, light blue, light green, yellow, violet, or any other delicate shade. These, therefore, are the colors in which you will look most girlish or womanly to men, and in which you will consequently be most alluring. In fact, since the tenderness and childlikeness of women is so appealing to men, women will always seem most attractive in those cuddlesome materials and colors which bring out this quality, the materials and colors which you yourself prefer to see on beautiful children, like we talked about last time. Think of the difference between women's pantsuits and what you would wear on Easter Sunday. Which one would make you feel more feminine? Which one makes you act more feminine? Which one will men find you more cuddlesome in? An Easter dress will win hands down on all of those. Now, regarding black clothing, my skin coloring happens to look very well with a true cool black, and I wear it a lot. But my top will be a V-neck or a scalloped, anything to look more feminine. And then I'll wear a jewel-toned cardigan in bright red, blue, green, purple, fuchsia to achieve that inside column effect, which is slimming. So I'm wearing a black top with black pants or a black skirt, and then that jewel-colored cardigan to provide that light and color to my face that are my colors, attractive, and then I can wear the black. And if my dress is black in the background, I want to have brighter flowers on it. I've noticed that looks best on me. Or in certain cases, if my entire outfit is going to be black, then I want to have a very vibrant purse color, a beautiful shade of blue or bright pink, and I want to wear stunning, colorful jewelry. But ladies, not every skin tone looks good in black, and it needs to be the right shades of black. Do you look good in black? You're not going to know unless you take a color test. Now, I am a cool winter tone, and I think it's 75% to 80% of black women are also that cool winter tone. And many black women will also look fantastic in those same jewel tone colors that I look good in. But instead of that black inside column of a black top, black pants or skirt or dress, they look stunning in white with the jewel-toned cardigans. Or a jewel-toned dress then with a black or white cardigan. I know many of us veer away from white because it's so easy to get it dirty. So look for white sweaters with black collars or necklines, black cuffs. That will make you look fantastic. Or the exact opposite. Have a black sweater but with white cuffs and a white neckline. Looks wonderful on anybody with that cool or clear skin tone. So take a day to study and find out what are your best colors. Then go through your closet What do you need more of, less of? What can you donate? What can you mend? What can you tailor? Just pay more attention to your dress. Dress up more. Fewer jeans. Jeans are average. Just try to elevate your dress in your everyday circumstances. And you will find that every time you meet someone, they will simply treat you better. When you dress nicely, it tells people around you to treat you better. It's just the way it works, because your clothes say it for you. When you cannot avoid the more neutral colors which men themselves wear, you want to be sure to have a dash of vivid color somewhere to offset the mannish impression you may otherwise make. Black, when worn by blondes, might be considered an exception to this rule, but though it makes them more striking, it does not make them appear nearly as girlish as the more feminine colors do. Black, moreover, falls absolutely flat even in blondes unless it is distinguished by extremely girlish styles and is made of such obviously girlish materials as chiffon, crepe de chine, georgette, or other dainty and unusual weaves. Incidentally, other neutral or masculine colors can sometimes be worn without disadvantage when the mannish effect is offset by a marked girlishness in style or material. Adding a little bit of lace to the bottom of a V-neck. So easy to just tack in there. If you have a lot of black or other neutral clothes in your closet, get rid of the average-looking pieces and then search for those pieces with the scalloped necklines. And remember, fads don't matter. You do not need to wear what the fashion industry tells you because they are wrong. All you have to do is worry about what looks good on you and your body at this moment in time. Fashion doesn't matter because fashion changes weekly. Fast fashion stores are on a 52-week fashion cycle. So whatever you buy this week is going to be out of style next week. Fashion no longer matters. Only finding your colors and girlish items. Feminine items. Now, 18 years ago, I left work to stay home with my baby, and none of my clothes fit. My extremely fashionable wardrobe was not suitable to being at home with a child. And then, since I wasn't getting much sleep in those early days, I wouldn't wear makeup. I only had one pair of black pregnancy shorts that fit, and I would try and wear a pink top with them, or a flowered top. But I was wearing the same clothes over and over again, and they just kept getting more shabby. Then when my son was about 4 years old, I started attending a new homeschooling group that had just formed, and I met a woman who had a very positive attitude, gracious spirit, and she had an obvious love of her darling husband. And she also dressed both cute and stylish, whereas I was just trying to cover up, spend no money on myself since we were living on one income, and dress modestly. With Christmas and birthday money, I went to a fairly expensive store, and my money didn't go far, but I matched, and I felt good. I bought a navy pair of pants, a top that matched, and a lace overshirt. I asked my darling husband how he liked it, and he replied, "Nice, but not very sexy." Sexy? I wasn't trying to be sexy. I was going about in the world trying to dress nice and modestly. But then it hit me. I had lost my ideal to be sexy for my darling husband. My beautiful friend was wearing clothes that pleased her husband. She dressed for him. I was finding that modest, sexy dichotomy difficult. As a new mom and a Christian, I wanted to be angelic, not worldly and caught up in fashions. But my modest dress was simply too unbecoming. As a wife, especially when at home, I needed to be attractive to my husband. I rarely left the home without makeup, but I would be a mess until about 3 p.m. with all the chores and homeschooling that had to be done. I really needed to do better with caring for myself first thing in the morning. And since it's so cold on winter mornings, if I wanted to stay in my pajamas until noon, then they needed to be darling pajamas, or at least pajamas that I could open the door to the mailman or a neighbor while wearing. My husband was very pleased with my new wardrobe choices. I was no longer hiding my body from him, but I was dressing for him. And at that time, I chose this picture of a woman who has burned the dinner. The title of the picture is called Let's Eat Out. And I really felt that it represented me 20 years ago. I was a pouting brunette because my cooking skills were not yet up to par, but I was trying. I was dressing attractively in a fairly modest dress, but I was also looking kind of sexy for hubby. I also found a pretty undergarment line that matched my personality. And dressing better for my body as it was right then, I found that I was more motivated to eat better. I was more motivated to work around the house. I was more motivated to be excellent in all I did, at home, with baby, with my husband, at church, everywhere. Paring down your wardrobe to only the items that look good on you, that are best for your body type and best for your skin color, will give you both energy and motivation to accomplish the things you want to in your life, as it is right now.